All right, Torture Talk, baby. You know what it is. You know what it is, man. Hey, how y'all doing today? How y'all doing? It's storming where I'm at, so I'm trying to bang out as many episodes as I can. So this episode will come out today. It's not going to come out tomorrow. Those episodes are done, so y'all see them in the morning. But this episode today, we're going to be talking about this is the end of basically the credibility and the, how would I say this? Let's just get to it, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get to it. Before I get into that, I got to get my spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones that just don't harass them or don't sell no merch, but I do have content. Absolutely free, but if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 13,000. And yes, I am the King of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. Shout out again to Moni, who I believe she's going to be doing a live stream with one of the 6 top guys in this space that we're in. Yes, I'm happy for her. That's great. You know what I'm saying? I'm really, really proud of her. Really happy for her. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into it, man. Let's do it. All right, this comes from Fantastic Hip Hop. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. Let's get it.
Now, in this time where Drake has done something that we have never seen in the course of hip-hop history, and everybody's been reacting to it, what's becoming more clear in this moment where Drake has done something absolutely unprecedented is that even when it comes to all of the stans and people who have strangely stayed loyal to him no matter what, now even some of Drake's biggest cheerleaders are starting to hop off this wave of just supporting everything he does regardless of how embarrassing it really is. And at the center of this is none other than DJ Akademiks. And now after Ak has been leaning further and further into echoing Drake's delusions and trying to uplift his image at the expense of everything, with Drake now trying to take a rap beef to a place that it has never been with his most recent action, Ak seemingly had a choice to make, which was to support the weakest move we've ever seen in hip-hop history and lose whatever credibility he had left, or speak his mind on this genre-altering matter and possibly risk ruining the odd dynamic he had with Drake, while also in the
we'll see how this plays out. I'm not going to jump the gun on this one. But he did say it out his own mouth that he can't support this. He said that at least 3 times. I heard him say it 3 times. He said it 3 times. He can't support this. He said, I can't support this. I can't support this lawsuit. And we'll see if he really, means that. But this is what Ak said. He said he can't support it. And I think this goes deeper than Akademiks supporting a lawsuit. I'm looking at this from the point of view of Drake and how he used the culture to get where he needed to be. And once he got there, then he totally going against it, because I think he is under the impression, Drake is under the impression that he's untouchable and nobody can touch him. He's not even the culture, because he looks at it like, well, rap in his head, rap is just a money-making tool. He don't really, let's be clear, Drake don't really passionately care about rap. He doesn't, or hip hop. He's more care about more of himself. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see how far this goes with Ak. I definitely think he's going to change his tune, but I could be wrong. You could be wrong.
Process, making his fans, who are also Drake stans, livid that he is hopping off the Drake bandwagon. And now when it came to Ak making a decision, what he actually did has shocked a lot of people, including myself, as for the first time ever when the stakes have been this high, Ak spoke out about Drake and called him out for this ridiculous move he is trying to pull. But as Ak has now went against the guy and his fan base who has been supporting him more than any other group of people in rap has, when it comes to his career, things are starting to look almost as terrible for him as they are for Drake. Because after already being rejected from the rest of hip-hop, Ak is now being kicked out from the center of Team Drake. And now before we get any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And so now with this move from DJ Akademiks, it really seems like,
I'm going to say this. I know a lot of y'all probably going this. I don't know if y'all going to disagree or not. I think it's a bad move for Drake to kick out Akademiks. I really do. See, Akademiks can't affect Kendrick. He can't affect Kendrick because you can't really affect Kendrick. but he can affect Drake. If he really went on a campaign and went against Drake, yeah, he'll get Drake out of here. I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. He can definitely affect Drake, 100%. Because the reason why I say that, a lot of people will say he's a grifter, and they'll say, "Oh man, we don't believe nothing you say. You was on Drake, you was on Kendrick once, now you on Drake." They'll say that, but the thing is, in his comments, most of his comments, they're Kendrick fans. They be going against him in his comments. He says it all the time. This chat always going against him. They don't agree with him all the time. I be seeing, I somehow watch this stuff, and I'll be reading the chats. They go fast, but I'll be reading and be like, "You're crazy. You out of your mind. Kendrick is way better." Like, that's the type of chats he have. Like, he have people in there who agree with him, but I've seen a lot of times. One thing I will say that I respect about Akademiks, and I know it's kind of shocking that a lot of y'all would say that, what do you respect about Akademiks? I respect that Akademiks will take his time to talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? He'll talk to any side, whether he agrees with you or don't agree with you. And he gives his points. You know what I'm saying? He does. Now, he don't, sometimes I would say he's wrong. Most of the time, I would say he's wrong about stuff, but he really does do that. A lot of people, and I'll use a person example. I'm not going to say his name, but I used to debate with this guy on Instagram. He's a famous rapper. Let's just say that. And he would never do something like that. He would never. And some people are okay with that. But my thing is, the only way you can get past things is if you talk about it and come to a certain medium. You can't just be like, "Oh, I don't like you and I'm never going to talk to you." Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless you Kendrick and Drake. And Kendrick has a reason why he should never talk to Drake. Like, we all know why.
After the recent controversy where Drake made him lie, both of them got caught for doing so, and then Ak embarrassed himself and Drake even more by then trying to expose LeBron James, but then only ending up making Drake look worse than ever as a whole. Ak realized with one of the weirdest situations he has ever been in, that maybe he's going a little too far with this whole Drake thing, and that he should not be trying to defend another man's image as much as he is doing so, because with Ak's most recent stream where he went through this entire Drake lawsuit, he had some rare words for Drake that were critical, and in this time where Drake fans and OVO are all trying to push the same narratives to support and defend their guy in this chapter where he has done the weakest things and people are only turning on him more by the second, Ak went against what OVO was trying to do to help Drake by calling the suit ridiculous, and then he was so embarrassed by what he was reading and seemingly the fact that he has been defending this guy so hard that he just started laughing about some of the ridiculous reaches the suit was trying to make about what Not Like Us was trying to portray about Drake in the first place. And the best part about this is that Drake fans were yelling at Ak and telling him to stop laughing, as they have been trying to push to everyone, including Ak, that they all need to be unified and defending Drake for everything in order to win against hip-hop and the industry.
And I'm just gonna say this, like, some people want to be unified on lies and garbage, because a lot of y'all, and this is no disrespect to y'all, a lot of y'all don't take the time out to go look at stuff. Y'all watch reactors, y'all watch people like us, and that's why I say, me having a certain amount of subscribers, I'm very responsible for what I say and how I talk to people now, because you can infect people's lives. Like, even my small 15,000 channel, there's somebody on this channel that's probably going through something. And if I say something, they probably can go do something. So I don't really take this thing lightly, and I don't say things that I think is going to go and do harm to people. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I might speak viciously about Drake and I don't like him, but I would never say that he needs to, something has to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would never do nothing like that. You know what I mean? Now, I would defend myself, and if there's something that happened and somebody say, "Oh, this one," yeah, I'm definitely defending myself, and but I would never tell nobody else to do nothing like that. So the point I'm making is, people go to Akademiks for these things, and if he's out here if he's not telling the truth about what's going on in these cases or these lawsuits or whatever you want to call it, then he should not be taken serious. Not to say you should take acts serious. I'm just saying you have to take into account that you can't really fake that when you read something directly from what it says on the paper. You can't really affect it like people. I mean, okay, I might say something and it depends on how you take it, but the truth is the truth. If it says he's suing UMG for defamation, you know what I'm saying? And then if I'm saying he's suing UMG for defamation, like in question form, but it's directly from the paper, from the court document, it's your fault that you took it as me saying it to you in a way where where it's misleading. But I'm reading it from the court document. I'm saying it in a biased tone, but you should always have an open mind that somebody like Akademiks definitely speaks in a biased tone. Me, I don't speak in a biased tone. But then again, I really don't. But then again, sometimes, but not always. But for him, majority of the time, he is speaking from a bias. He just sides with who he sides with. That's it. But I mean, yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Like, you just gotta be careful.
And protect Drake's image. And again, just putting this entire fan base and community in place. Ak stopped this ridiculous way of thinking and acting, which is now making the entire OVO community have no sort of nuance or originality in their opinion. And does Ak continue to speak out against Drake? He went on to say that he isn't the one who is making Drake look bad at this point, because Drake fans who can't take any sort of accountability of reality think that Ak is the one making him look bad by speaking out against him and not Drake's own actions. And in a rare moment where Ak isn't doing everything to help Drake, he went on a whole tangent where he explained that he's done nothing to make Drake's image look worse, but it is the documents he is reading and the principle this is all setting on rap music as a whole. And the fact that now Ak is saying this and even recognizing that all of this is bad for hip-hop is just saying so much. And continuing on this tangent that may just cost Ak his career. He got so fed up with how embarrassing Drake.
Do I think that this is going to cause Ak's career? No, because Akademiks is a very unique streamer. And even though a lot of us think that he lost a lot of credibility, Akademiks is like, he's like devil's pie, right? You know what I'm saying? You know you don't supposed to have it, but you do. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those streamers that you love to hate and you hate to love. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. Like, a lot of people say they hate Akademiks, but they will watch his streams. Because a lot of times they want to see him crash out. But he has a lot of good, valid points. I would honestly say that. He does. But sometimes he has some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be clear. Like, but he's the mixture of what you could look at and say, well, I don't know. Like, he's a very interesting person. You know what I'm saying? He's very interesting when it comes to that. And you know that a lot of times he gonna speak from how he feels. Even though it might be bullshit, he's still speaking from the heart. You don't really get a lot of people like that. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't agree with Akademiks. I'm just telling y'all what I see. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he is where he's at. Now, do I believe he's gonna get canceled? I don't think so. I think he's about to reach 1 million subscribers, but I believe he already had, but he lost his channel or something like that. I don't know. But he's definitely one of those people that people don't like, but they love to watch.
Has been as a whole that he just straight up said he needs to stop putting himself in the public eye and he needs to spend some time away from the limelight, and in addition, he needs to stop all the cringy antics and mirror selfies and needs to start presenting himself within a way that is actually respectable. And again, for Ak, who has been through so much for Drake, now stepping against him and just calling everything out for what it is. Which, of course, with the reality we are all seeing is just absolutely ridiculous. Now that Ak has stepped out of his role, the OVO community is done with him, and they feel so betrayed and angry towards the guy who has been leading the effort to protect Drake's public image all before this. And I mean, really, before we go any further into what this actually all means for Ak, the fact that Drake's fans and the people around him have reached a point where there is no room for discussion or to even hear someone's opinion out about how Drake is doing something wrong, I mean, in of itself, this explains why Drake's career is in the place it is in the first place and why his downfall keeps getting worse, because clearly no one is trying to offer him any other ideas that may actually help him, and they are just echoing whatever sentiments he wants to push across, even if they are wrong or embarrassing to hip-hop culture as a whole, like with this entire situation.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to pause on him because he just keeps going. The thing is, too, that I understand that a lot of people are ride or die for Drake because they just like Drake. They just don't want to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them are that surrounding Drake are yes men. They are. And I think that Akademiks got to the point where he probably felt like, well, I could say certain things, but this I can't get behind because he probably see the writing on the wall. And on top of that, people been telling Akademiks that he's been being played for so long. And I think that I'm not gonna say he has an awakening. I'm not gonna go that far. But I am gonna say that whole thing with him and the bull and him saying Drake told him, and somebody saying to him, yo, he lied to you. I think it was Wack on Hunter say he lied to you. You know, he lied to you. He lied to you. I think off record, Wack probably saying, look, bro, he's playing you, bro. He's been playing you for a long time. And I don't know, man. I think he wants to be stubborn about it and he wants to give Drake the benefit of the doubt. But it's only so many benefits of the doubt you can give somebody. It's only so many. You can't keep giving them out. And I'm telling you, this is what I think happened. Now, again, I ain't saying that he's definitely off the Drake train, but he's on that pole swinging like this, boy. You on that pole. You say one thing. I'm jumping off this. I'm jumping off, Drake. Say one more thing. I think that's what he's doing.
Drake has created here. And with the fact that now DJ Akademiks, who has been clearly biased towards Drake, is at a point where he himself can no longer even stand with how out of touch Drake, OVO, and their entire community is, it's just very telling of how Drake is spiraling, because for someone who has had the reputation and loyalty of Ak to now get off board and speak the way he did against him, it really should be the only sign you need to start rethinking your strategy. But now, while all of this is signaling that Drake has reached a point where he is done, for DJ Akademiks, the situation is really putting himself within a bad place, because due to the choices Ak made in 2024 all the way up to this point, which has involved him supporting Drake and being the voice for whatever narratives he wanted to push across. As we have talked about before, Ak has tied his success and his fan base to Drake's closer than really anybody else has, and as the Drake community as a whole has lost any sense of nuance, Ak can't think differently from the rest of them, and this is why Drake stands all over are livid at him and seemingly rejecting whatever he has to say going forward. And now with Ak and Drake specifically, as Ak speaking out against Drake is coming off another bad moment between the two where Ak's top song of the year was Not Like Us, and he clearly didn't want Drake or any of his fans to know this. Ak now showing once again that he's not as loyal to Drake and OVO as they all thought he was is changing the dynamics on some way of how his entire corner of the hip-hop world is being represented. And in this OVO echo chamber where Drake fans are looking for someone to just support his delusion and the all-time low moments that we are witnessing right now. Because of these building moments where Ak has went against Drake, they have...
Yeah, definitely. I believe there's a lot of people in that echo chamber. That Drake echo chamber. I really do. And it's very sad. It's sad to see that. Because I feel like a lot of y'all Drake fans, y'all so afraid. Like one of my boys, he's a big Drake fan. And he's like, I feel like he's just so afraid to just give his opinion. It's like, bro, we know Drake lost. You know Drake lost. But it's like, you got to make up all these excuses instead of just having a decent conversation about it. And it's like, everything is corny Kendrick does. Oh, this is corny. That's corny. It's corny. And like, oh, you just don't like Drake. Everything is trash. Like, bro, like, I never said Drake was trash. I've said his last albums were wasn't as good as his albums before. But for you to say Kendrick is corny, it's like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times the Drake fans, they have this thing where they stay so invested into Drake and they don't even know why. Because you ask them, why do you like him so much? Why? And the first thing they'll say is, cause man, he got hits. Be like, really? Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird flex to me.
Now kicked him out of their community and have appointed OVO Mal as the leader of Team Drake in hip-hop media going forward. And the fact that they are treating someone who really is more biased and emotional than even Ak and Mal as this heroic figure who is standing up for what needs to be said and who is way stronger than Ak ever was. I mean, this is just the most pathetic thing, and moments like these really show you how bad a fan base and community around an artist is doing in times like these, because as the fact that this is where we're at, where for Drake, Ak has hopped off supporting him at any chance he can get, and now they are letting someone like Mal, who has literally embarrassed himself time after time every single moment when he is near a mic, as whether it's from when he said the Hard Part 6 is going to age and become one of the best diss records of all time, which we all saw where that went, or when his co-host Rory was trying to get him to admit that Drake does look bad for doing this, and Mal didn't just not say anything against Drake, but he actually supported him and thinks this is a noble and heroic move that a rapper can make. Mal is really another person.
I'm telling you, man, I'll be honest with y'all, this is what it is. And be clear. The reason why Drake is acting the way he acting is because he's spoiled. And Drake been doing this for a long time, and he's been this person for a long time. And now it's coming to a head. But the thing is, he's always been, if you just look at the scenery around him, it's unbelievable. He's basically a single man playboy. You know what I mean? And at this age, he has no family, besides his mom and his son. But I mean, like, he doesn't have a wife and kids. He has a son, but he doesn't have a wife and kids. And he's basically moving around as if he's still 19, 20, 21 years old. If you see some of the things that he ever seen in his life, as far as like money wise and anything, it would blow your mind. And I think him feeling like he's gonna lose all that is the reason why he's where he's at today mentally. Like, I don't think Drake understands the pressure of, like, I know he said he understands, what it is to be struggling, which I totally disagree with. But he wasn't never as wealthy as he is today. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't think he's gonna feel like he's gonna lose everything. But to him, in my opinion, losing something, even losing one thing, and the biggest thing he ever lost was a rap battle. The rap battle thing, losing, is the biggest L for him, because he can't get past that. And I'm going to predict something. I don't know, maybe this would happen. I don't know. It's just a prediction. I think that he's going to drop the suit after the Super Bowl, or they're going to come to some type of agreement, because that's the reason why I think he's doing all this, because he wants to see if Kendrick is going to perform it at the Super Bowl. That's it. But we'll see what happens.
Just like Drake has lost everything in this time where the stakes have never been higher, and if this is who they want to lead the OVO community, I mean, somehow in comparison, this makes having DJ Akademiks as your top guy look like an amazing choice in comparison. And so really at this point, where Drake's downfall is having so many other repercussions and effects, and now guys like DJ Akademiks are at a crossroads because he may have to do a complete rebrand if OVO turns against him, because in this time where no other hip-hop fans actually support this guy, because Ak has not just lost all of his credibility being biased towards Drake, but with half the stuff he actually covers and with how he speaks about hip-hop as a whole, he really doesn't even like rap music like the rest of us. It's really...
Well, and then you see, and it's another thing too that I noticed a lot of people ain't covering. I just seen Drake. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna put it at the end.
Be telling to see where Akademiks and Drake go from here, because while the OVO community is done with Ak for now as they are against him, having Mal try to make this effort from Drake look any better than it is will just not work whatsoever. And despite the fact that Drake and Ak clearly do have some hidden beef after all the moves they have made that have made one another look worse, this partnership they have had works for both of them, because Ak does help Drake's ideas circulate through the hip-hop world in a way that has been making some people on that side of things look at him a little different, and Drake does know this, as he wouldn't have continued to use him to support and project his ideas for so long if this wasn't true. So really going forward, while OVO is trying to kick Ak out, and if things get worse after Ak called out Drake, this may just end up becoming a reality and Ak will have to rethink his entire career and approach. Going forward, it will be interesting to see if Drake talks to Ak about where he is at in this time where he made the weakest move in the genre's history, and if Ak will change his mind and then try to start supporting Drake like he always does, but really as it stands. All it seems like we are going to see is Ak just continue to hold his ground against the most ridiculous and out-of-touch version we have ever seen of Drake, and if this is the case, then for both Drake and Ak, their careers in every sense of the word are about to change drastically, because Drake isn't just going to lose the last piece he had on the board in hip-hop in terms of having somebody who can actually make noise for him, but Ak is also going to lose the only people who are still remaining as fans for him as a whole. And really for Ak,
I don't know about that either. I don't think Akademiks is going to lose his whole, because I don't think Akademiks has a fan base. I think he does streams and people are subscribed to him and they come to his stream to see his wild takes. I don't think it's a fan base. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has like definitive fan base, like like Kendrick fan base, or saying. No, I think he is a mixture of both in there, and they fight with each other. Like that's what I think it is.
Is he is just so far gone from the rest of hip hop culture that it's really too late for him to change his ways. If he is no longer going to support every one of Drake's actions, then who knows where his career is going to end up. Because while people will still hear and listen to what Axe says for a while, in this era where fan bases drive everything, without any sort of actual group supporting him, with Team Drake and OVO no longer by his side, Axe is really finally about to learn why he should have never supported Drake so much to the point where he tied the entire success of his career to his. And so now with all of this said, let me know. What do you think of DJ?
Yeah, make sure y'all go follow Fantastic Hip Hop. Now, let me show y'all what I was talking about. Now, I want y'all to take a look at this. And this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I'll explain. So look at this. All right, so I had to run that back. But look at this. Look at this. Y'all know who that is? Y'all know who that is? Y'all see it again. Look at this. Now, y'all seen that, right? Now, Akademiks claim that he just signed Top 5, right? And Drake has never met up with Akademiks, but he has met up with Top 5. And for some reason, Drake is now out here pretending that he's really cool with Top 5. And didn't Whack 100 said to stay away from Top 5. And what he's doing, he's with Top 5. So this is what I mean by when they say Akademiks, you're getting played. It's right in your face. And it's so disgusting to see. And you just don't see it. You gotta be a naive guy. You got to be smart when it comes to certain things, but you are just a stupid guy, man. Like, because if we're sitting here arguing and talking to you about Drake's behavior against you, and you're defending it, and he's still stunting your face, I thought those were your artists. I thought Top 5 was your artists. Not to say you can't hang with Drake, but don't you think that's kind of weird that he's with Drake and you're not weird, and you're posting it? It's like, come on, bro. But again, it is what it is. But I had to put that out there. All right, man. I'll see y'all, man. Y'all have yourself a good night.